Hey everyone, hope you're doing great. I wanted to share something with you today, a little thing I did. You can see it right up there. Probably saw some B-roll already. I backlit this beam that I put in the kitchen of the house I'm remodeling. And if you are new to the channel, I'm remodeling a house completely gutted, and my whole goal with this house is to remodel it and rent it and get the next house and do the same thing. So if you're interested in real estate, personal finance, stuff like that, really I'm just calling the channel betterment of stuff, of you, of houses, of cars, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, you can subscribe if you want to. But anyway, let's get to the short video of how I backlit this beam. And a side note, no, I'm not done with the house yet. It's just dragging. So stay tuned for some more videos. I got an update video coming out soon. Otherwise, take a look back at all my old videos if you missed them all, on the progress of this house and remodeling it and all the crazy stuff that I found and had to go through. All right, so the key components to this project is LED string lights and a wireless light switch. These two things are in the entire project. The rest of it is just a lot of hard work and fishing wires through walls and stuff like that. So I went with this kind of higher end LED string light. The light comes out this way, and it's got a diffusing layer on it, so you can't pinpoint where each of the LED lights are when you backlight something, because that's a problem sometimes they have. So this is a nice diffuse light. It's warm. It wasn't too cheap, but it also wasn't that expensive. And you just cut it where you need it. So I cut this piece. I don't know if it's gonna focus. And you can see you can just solder on a new wire right there, get a new power supply, and use the rest of it. Now this wireless light switch is the key to all of this. So in order to power these lights, I had no switch. I had no switch for it. I had no power up there. I did, but I had already finished doing most of this remodel before I figured out I wanted to do this. So this is basically finished house. How do I get wires? How do I get power up there on the ceiling where there's no power and there's no access from the ceiling? I don't have an attic. There's an upstairs right there. So this is the magic that I came up with. I mean, that makes it sound like I found some magical solution. No, this is just, people use this all the time. Anyway, so this is a wireless light switch. So see, the light turns off, light turns on. And so this comes paired with something like this. This isn't actually it, but a little brick that you plug into the wall, and then it's got a wireless receiver that goes back to the switch. And so when you touch the switch, it sends a wireless signal to the brick that's plugged into the wall, and whatever's plugged into the brick gets turned on. It's as simple as that. So go buy one on Amazon, they're pretty cheap. Yeah, look at the reviews, because there's probably some crappy ones out there. All right, so I have my switch mounted here in the kitchen because the beam is in the kitchen, just right below the beam. And since this will be an Airbnb, I figured this is the best place so people kind of know, oh, this switch is different, it's special, it's for these. So yeah, let's talk about how I got the wires up there, because this is just a traditional LED strip light that you plug into the wall. So you need to find a plug to plug it into, right? So I have this beam, and above it there's some space between the ceiling of this room and the floor of the next room, as there is in every house. There's no insulation there, so it's just empty cavities. And so I had two options here. I could use that space to run a wire, or I could use the wall, such as this wall or this wall right here. And so that was one option. I didn't use that option, even though I think it would work. Now, if you don't know how to fish wires through walls, there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to do that. You just basically get fish tape, which is like a metal, rigid, semi-rigid piece of metal. You drill your holes where you need to, and then you fish it through the wall or the ceiling or wherever. And if you don't want to do that and you need to, and you think this is possible in your house, or maybe you're backlighting cabinets or something like that, anything backlit, an electrician can come fish wires for you. So don't think it's impossible if you can't do it. But anyway, so you see that wire right up there? I drilled a hole through the beam, and this is not a structural beam, it's just for looks. Drilled a hole straight up, so that went through the ceiling into that cavity that's in between the ceiling and the floor of the next level. So then I went into my attic and fished, well actually from here I put in the hole some fish tape. So it went up into the attic and then all the way over to where I could actually access it in the little corner cavity of the house up there. And I'll show you that now. All right, so now we're in the other part of the upstairs. We're going into the bathroom. And here's this attic access. And let me get in there. All right, I know it's dark, but here is the outlet it's plugged into. So you see that right there? This is the wireless module, and this is the LED lights. So basically, this outlet in the attic is all hidden. So I can just plug in the wireless receiver, plug in my LED lights that go down to the brick, and then go down into the joists and get fish downstairs. So yeah, it's really that simple. You can't see me, can you? Oh, this is some better light, isn't it? Yeah, so basically that's how you do it. If you want to backlight really anything, yeah, you can pretty much get power anywhere. And if you don't want to call an electrician, this is the way to do it, where you find an outlet somewhere in an attic space or even in another room, and you can fish wires to that room. Houses have a lot of dead space, so if you're in a house and you don't think you can possibly fish wires through any walls or ceilings or anything like that, you'd probably be surprised. Go up in your attic, poke around, be super careful because you can't step on the ceiling because you'll fall through. So step on the joists. But yeah, there's a lot of dead spaces in houses. So yeah, if you find maybe an outlet in a closet space or something like that, and you don't mind drilling a little tiny pinhole to slide your wires through into the wall, to kind of like a pass through, or just a pinhole through the floor, that's a possibility too. I don't typically recommend that, but you could do it. And if you're gonna live in the house forever and you just want some LEDs where it doesn't seem possible and that would make you happy, a small hole in the floor or the wall is not gonna be the end of the world. So yeah, in the old houses, they used to poke holes in the floor all the time for cable TV, and I know that doesn't really exist anymore, but man, you'd get the cable company out there and they'd say, oh, where do you want the cable? I got a TV here, here, and here. And they just poke holes in the floor like crazy and have these ugly cables sticking out, all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, so it's possible. All right, so again, yeah, it's pretty easy to get power places if you're persistent. And if you don't think you can get power somewhere, call an electrician, a local guy, not a huge company, and just see if he can do you a favor and fish some wires into a space for you. You never know. It could be super simple. You could be in and out in an hour, get you power where you need. But yeah, how do you guys like this backlit beam? I think it looks really awesome. Yeah, and total cost of the project was maybe 50 bucks, something like that. So yeah, go for it. I forgot to say, don't mind this wire. I didn't even remember it was there. This is the doorbell wire that was previously there, and I said, hey, maybe I'll need a doorbell. So it's fished all the way through that beam, all the way down to the front door outside. So I figure I might need that. So I guess maybe if I want to backlight something outside, I could feed it power.